Hello, and welcome back to another vlog with me, Jamster. I really need to get a new intro. Anyway, like, yeah, I feel like I just cringe every time I say that. Anyway, um, so obviously not been very proactive with uploading for a while. I don't know how long it's been. Actually, I can check. I always forget I can check because. You know, it's one of those things where even I sort of like to look at the video itself as it's happening. Um, I don't know why. Anyway, oh, not apparently only a week, 1 week. I'm not sure. Don't believe it. I'm pretty sure it's been 2 weeks, maybe three. At least it's been a while since I've uploaded any gaming related content, which is sad-ish. God damn it, my eye. Something just went into it. Probably my hair. Yeah, no gaming related content for a while. At least there hasn't been any gaming related content for a while. Don't know why, to be honest. I keep wanting to edit the stuff and upload it, but then I just keep getting pulled off by it, and I don't. It's like it's a mix of being wanting to and then not wanting to. It's a bit strange. Like there's, I don't know how to explain it, but I just haven't really. And I keep saying to myself I'll do it, but I don't. And it's kind of frustrating in a way. But hopefully, for the sake of the channel, I start uploading. I mean, I do enjoy the process. It's kind of like one of those things where it can sometimes be a bit tough to get motivated to start doing. Not that it's like it's sort of strange. It's even maybe it's more of myself, but I sometimes struggle to just start doing stuff. But once I do start doing the thing, that even regardless of whether I like it, I typically can get through it. And I guess it's maybe I just haven't sat down and thought like when I want to do it. Maybe I should make myself a timetable of sorts to try and stick to it. Not that I'm really any good at doing that, but yeah. Hopefully, content comes out. I mean, I did record a little bit of Pokemon Go, some other stuff. Don't know if that will actually come out. I don't think it turned out very well. It's a bit difficult to record Pokemon Go. It's mostly because you can only really, like, for me at least, I can only either record Pokemon Go or record like a sort of more vlog style thing, and I can't do both at the same time, and it makes it difficult. Like I can't try to make it look good, and it was also awkward. You know, I was trying to record in a public place, and every time someone walked by, I just sort of dropped dead silent, basically just end the recording, and then, you know, wait till everyone's sort of gone away again, and then start it back up. And there are times in it where I sort of pause, but don't stop because the people are going to be gone past quickly, probably. It was a very strange thing. It was fun in a way, like to at least learn how I can record Android related stuff. I don't think I'll upload the Pokemon Go stuff. Maybe it'll be like in the future there'll be like I don't know, like a sort of a bunch of just videos that never got uploaded because they were either not very good or nothing really interesting happens, and it just like a sort of special video to sort of say like this is what could have happened but it didn't because, well, it just didn't, for whatever reason really. Another thing I guess is I'm finally not wearing a jumper. Not that it's not cold, it's a little bit cold. It's not really, I don't know. Australia's weird. It gets like probably, at least Queensland, it can get cold randomly, and then for the past couple of days it's been relatively warm, except for the wind. Wind doesn't help ever when it's a bit cold. At least inside it's been warm. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what to talk about. I usually have just an idea, and for some reason I don't. And normally when I don't, I just hope that I ramble onto something. Um, but in terms of channel content, I do hope to get that out. Hopefully, I don't really know. I'm not really sure what kind of series I want to do. I'm thinking As a Craft Season 2 probably will never happen. It's less of me not liking recording it, it's more of a... I guess it's just I like Minecraft a lot, and playing it's a lot of fun, but when I record I can't just sit there, or when I'm recording a series, you can't sit there and just, do whatever you want for a couple of bits. Like if you... And the series, again, it just ends up being jumpy because I do often just do a lot of crap behind the scenes, and then I get over... It's sort of... It goes really far off tangent. I don't know. I just do a lot more than I sort of think I would. And it's also, I guess, another issue is I don't really have anyone to record with in that series, and whilst it doesn't seem like an issue, it's one of those games where I can get very, very silent and distracted very quickly because it's something that where I'm just sitting there trying to work out maths. It's not something easy to both record and talk, and it's... I don't know what it is. Minecraft is, as much as I like recording it and it's both fun, I think I'll stick to other Minecraft related recordings instead of Feed the Beast for now, because I can't do both at the same time, that's for sure. So yeah, maybe we'll see As a Craft Season 2 sort of pop up as more of an updates, or showing off the base kind of thing, which would be, I guess, a better way of doing it. Although I don't know how exactly I'd do that, because we'll see. Other than that, other series, the other ones like Lethis, I still want to finish it. I haven't actually finished the third mission or whatever the last video on it was. I still want to do more Undertale. I haven't played it since that recording. Just haven't really had the time for that one. Command and Conquer, again, just basically all my series, want to finish them eventually. I don't know what I'll do with the other content wise. I think I thrive on the stuff that doesn't need too much editing, or and it's more of a less editing. I mean, stuff where the content in itself is easier to make, but is generally more enjoyable, like to either record or just easier to record. Like Command and Conquer, I can sit there and I can play one mission, and then I'm done. I've got a recording. I can do more missions. Like when I was recording 0 Hour the first time, there were some nights where I recorded like 3 or 4 missions in a row. And typically, when I sort of went onto a new recording session, I guess, I was loading up the game, and you could kind of see that because I did load up the game from the main menu in the recording. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to play other games, but for the time being, until I get a better computer, it's really sticking to the either older games or games that aren't resource intensive, like some of the indie games that are smaller. The 2D style games are generally pretty easy to run, except for like games like Terraria. For some reason, they don't work well with recording. Maybe it's just being in full screen. I don't know what it is. Some stuff is just really hard to record, but runs really well on my computer, and other stuff, it doesn't run so well, but it records well. Like Minecraft, you wouldn't think I could record it on this computer, but it works, and I don't understand. I'd love to record things like Overwatch. Maybe not even record, I'd love to stream it, really. I think there are certain games that I do better in, I prefer to stream. Or even Minecraft wouldn't be bad. Like if I could stream things like the Feed the Beast stuff, that'd be much better in a way, because it would just work better. But I can't stream pretty much at all. I can stream basic games like Hearthstone, kind of. The stream is a bit dodgy and it kind of drops in and out, and it's not the best. I think it's a sort of more of an Australian internet thing than just because, well, it's not really even that. It's just we don't have the best internet in Brisbane yet. The national broadband network for Australia hasn't come around. When it does, I'm sure the internet will probably get good enough. Who knows? But for now, streaming's kind of, it's a dream, but it's not going to happen. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of things I'd love to do and record and play, and I just can't. Or I can't record it, but I mean I can play it. A lot of things I can play, I just simply can't record, which is a shame. I'd love to record things like Overwatch. Geez. Well, even games like I'd love to have a Terraria series because it's quite a fun one to play, and I think with some of the updates it's getting good. I really, really hope that before Terraria Otherworld comes out that I can get a new computer, because I'm really looking forward to that game. I think it was supposed to come out this year, but it didn't because I wasn't ready, which I'm completely fine with because I'd rather it be ready. But it's one of the few games that I'm really, really hyped for. I think the only other game I can think of really is Overwatch. Has been the only other game that I've been really hyped for, and it's been a pretty good game too. I mean, for the most part, I'm definitely enjoying a lot of the games that I'm playing. I do wish I could record them. You know, other games I'd love to record. Actually, Fallout 4 would be a fun one. I played through it once. I'd like to play through it again. I missed all the side quests somehow. I don't know what it is. I somehow missed every single side quest in Fallout 4. Maybe I did. No, I don't even think I did one. I checked the achievement where you have to just complete 5 side quests. Didn't do any. I don't know how. I don't know where the side quests are in that game, but seriously, I completed a fair chunk of quests because I was jumping between all 3 factions, except for the Gunners, I think it is. Oh no, not the Gunners, the Railroad. I didn't really do many of their quests. I wanted to do them, but then I didn't realize that if you choose a faction, that all the other quests would go away, basically. Which is it's one of those things. It was that game. If it didn't do that, I think I would have enjoyed it more. I really wanted to do a lot of the quests, and what bothered me more was there wasn't a quest to unify everyone. That was what I wanted to do, and it felt like it was just misunderstandings between all the 3 factions, and it just bugged me that I felt like I could have been a messenger and resolved it, and that the problems they were all having could have been solved so well. And there weren't, like, all the factions had their ups and downs really. Like, there were some of them were a little bit better than others in terms of their goals, but they all had sort of like dark secrets and dark paths that they took, you know, or not really dark secrets, well, 100%, but they all did bad things. They're kind of like it's kind of like the CIA. Like in general, their purpose and ideas in the benefit, or should be, or at least their prime sort of goal is to protect America, right? But in doing that, they've done things that are questionable and, well, just sometimes very evil. You know, things like the MK Ultra program. It was probably not. I guess in their minds, it would have made protecting America safe. Although it's always the question. Really, always is with those sort of things is are they really trying to protect everyone in that country, or are they just trying to protect the rich and powerful? It's a question you can't really answer, not easily. There's really it's sort of that strange boundary, I guess, between who, I guess it's more of a can you really trust the good guys, and are they really that good? The CIA is definitely one of those ones you can sit there and kind of question a lot. But none of the games, I guess, that I haven't really talked about. I finally got Pokemon X. It's probably like impossible to see, but it's the one at the bottom there. I was convinced by a friend to get the 3DS. It's probably the most expensive thing I've bought ever. Um, yeah, just ever. Um, but I mean, I have enjoyed it. It was definitely worth it. It came with a free game, which was Hyrule Warriors Legends. It's not bad. It's pretty much the exact same copy that's on the Wii, which is called just Hyrule Warriors, which don't know why the Legends part's on there. Maybe it's not 100%, but um, it's still surprisingly the 3DS is a very fun console. And now that it's come out, I've pretty much owned all the DSs, at least one version of them. So I've owned the DS Lite, the DSi, and the 3DS XL. I don't think there's been any others. Oh, I guess there's the 2DS, but I don't think that really counts. I think that's still in the sort of 3DS family, which is pretty good. Nintendo's always very, in general, they're pretty good. I think their only big flop has been the Wii U, which is the only Nintendo console that I don't own, actually. I've, I don't have a NES or SNES, but that was a bit before me. That was in the 80s. I think late 90s, early 90s. But I do have an N64, GameCube, Wii. Yeah, I have almost all of the... Actually, yeah, I've got almost all of the portable consoles. The only one I don't have is the Game Boy Color. And that's not even being like a Nintendo fanboy. I mean, I do love their games, but I've just, I guess they do produce just generally good products, which is cool. I would like to get a Game Boy Color and sort of one day create a very nice sort of collection room or something in a house that I own, and just to display some of the stuff that I own, because some of it's pretty good and it is pretty interesting. I'm fairly certain the majority of them work. Unfortunately, the Nintendo 64 doesn't work. I don't know how to fix it. I think the only way I can fix it is probably to pay someone, and I can only guess that that's going to be expensive. So that probably won't happen, which is a shame. I would also like to fix my Sega Genesis. It's strange. Both of those consoles broke when I moved house. Like, I can't get them working. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like some sort of power issue, like a cable's come loose. But then I opened up the Nintendo 64 and had a look, and it's pretty much just a solid PCB. I don't think there is any cables and stuff that could have easily come loose, other than the connecting like the power cables. Even then, I don't think that's the case. I don't know what it is. I think maybe something's fried on it. I don't think those kind of problems are repairable, unfortunately. So I just don't know what it is. I don't know if there's if they're just prone to bump damage, like if they get bumped too hard, they just break, or if it's just the power cable's broken. That is a possibility. I've never tested it. I don't really think there is an easy way to test it, given the way the transformers are, or the power brick of it is. But I mean, that's possibly it. It sort of sucks because they're really good console. Like, I really love the Nintendo 64. It's such a great console. And some of the games on there are some of my favorite. You know, Banjo-Kazooie really is one of my favorite games of all time. Like, I think if I was to list probably my favorite games, you know, in the top 5, you'd have Banjo-Kazooie, Dungeon Keeper 2, definitely. Probably Command and Conquer Generals would be up there, and then I think Overwatch would be in there as well. I don't know what the 5th one would be. It's sort of like, it's contended by a lot of spots, really, or not spots, but different games, because there's been a lot of very memorable games for me. I think Luigi's Mansion would also be very high up on that list. And then, you know, the top 10 would probably be at least one. I think the thing is, I've played, you know, I'm talking about Nintendo 64, and then I don't mention things like Mario or Legend of Zelda, which is kind of funny, but I never ever managed to get a Legend of Zelda game for the Nintendo 64. I, there was one that I didn't really play Twilight Princess either until it came out on the Wii, and I think it just came too late for me, all the Legend of Zelda stuff. Like, I love it as a game. After playing Twilight Princess, I went and played a couple of the other ones. Even the DS versions, Phantom Hourglass and that Railroad one. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Spirit Tracks. They're both very fun. And I think even the new one, the what's it called? The Link Between Worlds or something like that. The one where you can become like paper and go onto walls. Well, not paper, 2D. Sorry. Actually, you know what? I think no, I got no idea. I was thinking for a second about Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. That's also a very good game. That came out on the GameCube. That's really it though. I never finished a lot of those games though because I was just terrible. They're really, those ones can be very hard to like complete for a little kid. I never managed it. I mean, I got through I think majority of Banjo-Kazooie. It was just the issue with Banjo-Kazooie was because it was more of a collecting game. I wasn't very good at that, and you know, the further you progressed into the game, the more you needed to actually find certain things that you basically had to start getting a lot of levels completed. At least like I don't know exactly how much, but I reckon you would have had to have completed probably 100% on most of those levels. And I think on the early ones I did, but once it started getting a little bit more complicated, I struggled a bit. And some of the controls weren't exactly easy, but I did manage to complete, surprisingly, Luigi's Mansion. That one I completed. Paper Mario, I think I got very close, but I got stuck on something. I remember it was like a really frustrating thing, and I just gave up on it. I'm trying to think of any games that I never completed. There's a lot, basically. I never completed Dungeon Keeper 2 either, and it's still on, like, a majority of the games on my top 5 list, I've never finished. I did finish, no, actually, I never finished Dungeon Keeper 2. The further you get into the campaign, it gets very hard very quick, and I don't know what it is. I struggle a lot and get very frustrated with it. I'll eventually come back to those games, but the end missions typically are very, very hard, especially for Dungeon Keeper 2. Actually, I'm not sure, but I might have finished it. They're just like, if you've ever asked someone have they finished, if they're like a fan of Dungeon Keeper 2. You could probably find that there's a good portion of people who've never finished that campaign, just because it gets so hard. It's one of those things where the odds are very stacked against you. Like, you have to essentially be very perfect with how you play, and some of those things were just really, really bloody hard. And then there's other ones like War for the Overworld that came out recently, which is a sort of spiritual successor to Dungeon Keeper 2. I really do like it. It recently had a sort of, I guess I'd call it a mini expansion. It's not a very good expansion. It was pretty small. I think it should have been bigger, but it's called Heart of Gold, I think, and the final mission in that one just sucks. I really don't like it. It's very frustrating. So there's a minion in it that's like this gold golem, and you need to keep it alive, and it has to, because it has to unlock something. I can't remember. But the thing that's frustrating with this kind of game, or Dungeon Keeper, if you ever played it, is your minions do roam around, and this is one of the ones that does like to roam around a bit. And once you start sort of attacking the main enemy fortress, this stupid thing starts walking around in the halls there, unless you put down a flag. And sometimes I put down the flag, and then I'll remove it because I don't really like keeping it stuck there, and I think it's one of those ones that does want certain things. Like, you need to keep your minions happy generally, and if you don't keep them happy, they die. And the problem is that no matter how hard I try, it always walked into an enemy patrol, and it just was very frustrating. Like, I think I did the mission probably 10 times, and every time I lost, not because I got overwhelmed and died to the enemy, but because my stupid golem just freaking walks into battle, and he doesn't walk out. He just It's horrible. And what makes it worse is it's an RTS where you have very sort of limited control of your minions. You can tell them where to go, you can tell them where to fight with flags, but that's really it. That's the best you get in terms of control. They will flee the battle if they're, getting too hurt. Some of them will, at least. Others will not leave battles until they've killed the things or they die, which it's cool. Like, it really adds an interesting dynamic to it. But it's also very frustrating at times. Like, in a traditional RTS like StarCraft or whatever, you tell a unit to sit somewhere, and they'll stay somewhere. Typically, I mean, they do follow enemy minions if you haven't set them to a certain thing. I can't remember. You can generally just set them to like stay put or whatever. But it is frustrating, like having that thing die. Some games they're good, but they just have like one or two shitty things in them, and that's what you remember. I think more often than not, you remember the stupid shit that just shouldn't be in the game. There's lots of great games out there, though. I wish I could play them all. I won't ever be able to play them all. There's just too many games, and more good games do come out. The only way you could ever do it is if you probably, if you were a proper YouTuber, you could probably smash out a game a day, really. It's interesting, actually. You could, if you had the money, you could probably create a Let's Play in one day of an entire game from start to finish, and then you could just pay someone to edit for you. Then you just play a game, do whatever, enjoy it, right? And then your editor does it, uploads it for you as well, probably. And then you could have if you played a game and it was, say, 8 hours long, and then you split it up either into 20 or 30 minutes, like just say 30 minutes, that's a 16 episode series. It's actually not really that good, but that's still, well, actually, for one day's worth of work. And then obviously editing it all, that's pretty decent. If you had one video or ad and then you got, just thinking that's kind of the way I'd probably do it, is just do big bulk recordings, which is kind of already how I do it, but I only do like single missions. Being said, some games are very long in their missions, a lot longer than you kind of expect. Yeah, there's a lot of, I don't know what it is about games that sometimes when I think about it, I really like a very diverse sort of genre of games. The only games I don't like is Skyrim and the whole actually, I really don't like the entire Elder Scrolls series. Every time I try to play it, it's just too slow. The stuff in it is just generally not very interesting. Maybe it's just I don't like the fantasy stuff much, but at the same time I do like fantasy. It's just the whole Elder Scrolls series that just is very boring for me. I don't know what it is about it. It's just, I guess, the weapons in it, most of them being melee weapons. It's just, they try to make it feel like the combat I do know is really good, and it's, when I have tried them, they're very enjoyable in terms of combat. It's just, I think the issue with those games is some of the things can get very freaking I think what was it? There was it's just one of those games where it's too open world for me. Don't make any progress, and it just ends badly. Whereas I think open world games to me is probably more the thing I don't like than the actual Elder Scrolls games. And I've only really played Skyrim, and I maybe tried Oblivion once, but there's something about it. The worlds are too big. It doesn't feel very populated, I guess. You only really encounter people in the city areas, and I don't know, something about it it's always bothered me. But then people, obviously love it as a game. But I guess that's what an opinion is. I don't like it, but other people can. That's fine. Jeez, if I was a big YouTuber, I can just imagine the hate I would get for saying that shit. People would just lose their minds. Like, I don't get it. But anyway. I've been Jeff, so this has been a strange vlog. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.